Just in the last couple of hours, we've seen President Biden landing in Northern Ireland, greeted by the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and making news on another international headline. The American journalist, who the U.S. says is being wrongfully detained in Russia. We're finding out that the president, on the way over, called the family of Evan Gershkovich, who you see here, that's that detained Wall Street Journal reporter. His family saying in a statement they appreciate President Biden's call to us today, assuring us that the U.S. government is doing everything in its power to bring him home as quickly as possible. NBC's Mike Memoli is joining us now from Belfast, Ireland. This call, ma'am, to Gershkovich's family was, it seems, meant to do the obvious, right, which is to reassure them, but also in some ways to demonstrate beyond just that family and the Wall Street Journal that the president and his administration are keeping up the pressure on Russia here.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. The president, we heard his motorcade rumble here into downtown Belfast just in the last hour, just past 10 o'clock local time. And it was 8 hours ago, just before he took off on Air Force One, that he did make that news about his intention to speak to Gershkovich's family. We know that he did so. And he talked about the designation of Gershkovich's case as being classified as wrongfully detained. We know that what that means in terms of the process. It allows the special envoy for hostage affairs to ramp up the involvement, to take that case on. But, Hallie, you and I know from past cases, some very recent high-profile cases, the significance of President Biden making that personal connection with the family. We saw it in the case of Trevor Reed, meetings in the White House. We saw it with Brittany Griner, Sherelle Griner, having those calls, those meetings in the White House. That personal connection to President Biden often is very significant in terms of putting it right on his radar. And so this is certainly a demonstration by the White House, after they have already made it clear, but even more so, that this is a top priority for the president.
It's just after 11 p.m. where you are. We know that the president is down for the evening in the parlance of White House speak, but he's got a busy schedule ahead of him. He's set to meet with leaders from the UK, from the Republic of Ireland, from Northern Ireland. He's also going to visit some towns and meet relatives from where his ancestral family lived before they came to the U.S. back in the 19th century. What's interesting about this trip, ma'am, is that this is personal for him, but there is a political component here, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the bulk of this trip, 2.5 days, is about his connection to Ireland, his Irishness, to be blunt about it. The president's Irishness has always been key to his political identity. So tomorrow afternoon, he's going to be spending time with the Finnegans and a very high-profile Carney, Rob Carney, a rugby star from Ireland, as he visits County Louth. On Friday, he'll be in County Mayo, where the Blewitts are from, and both of whom left to settle in Scranton. That's going to be a big part of the political backdrop. The shortest part of the president's itinerary here, though, is perhaps diplomatically the most important. Tomorrow morning, he's going to be meeting formally with the UK Prime Minister. He's also going to be meeting with representatives from the major political parties in Northern Ireland. They're talking about marking the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Peace Accords. It's less of a celebration than it might have been because of the complications, the strain that's been put on that accord because of Brexit. Not just the thorny economic issues about trade, goods moving back and forth between the North and the Republic of Ireland, which is still a member of the EU, but the fact that it's really reignited these tensions between the unionists who want to preserve the status quo with the UK and those who want to see a unified Ireland. The president really is being counted on by the UK and Irish politicians here to bring some of that presidential magic. It was Bill Clinton who played such a key role in getting this accord into place in 1998, and there is real hope that the president's participation and meeting with the parties tomorrow will give the motivation that's necessary to get Northern Ireland's government back up and running. It's called Stormont. It hasn't been in session since February of last year. That's the centerpiece of what the Good Friday Peace Accord was all about. And so there's real hope, and even if it's the shortest part of the president's itinerary, that he can help bring these parties back together.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.